Okay, so after some mild success from my first video, got 13 likes, something like that, and I like and appreciate all those likes. So I'm gonna keep going with these, and I also want to encourage, like feedback in the comments, and maybe we can have a conversation about some of the things that I bring up. I was also speaking with a colleague yesterday about, offering many different services, legal services. And it really, and I won't name drop her because the conversation was kind of taboo in the sense that, especially in law, we try to specialize in one thing or another just to show that we have a specialty. And when you have a DUI, you come here. When you have personal injury, you come here, etc. But it brought it into a larger conversation about transitions. My firm, my bread and butter is criminal defense. Because that's where most of my experience has been in. I was a prosecutor before. But where I'm trying to go, what I'm doing most of, and what I'm really passionate about is, emerging growth business, venture capitalists, and private equity, because I'm just really into tech and then, financing tech. So we were talking about in general, just the transitions that any business goes. And a lot of the times when I'm talking with startups, I kind of have to remember that I myself am a startup. So sometimes I go to resources and I'm talking about how to find resources for startups. And then I'm honestly finding resources for myself. But I say that to say that there are a number of, I wouldn't say necessarily like machinations, but I like to think of it like a butterfly. I was a caterpillar when I was, working in criminal law, and as I'm working in criminal law, because to me it's very rudimentary. It's almost like a fundamental part of our society in terms of the justice system is dealing with criminal law. But what I'm trying to do is, spread my wings in terms of working with finance and tech. So I'm taking classes, I'm getting another master's, etc. And in that transition, it's a big part of that is networking. So I guess that's the point that I want to leave you with. I had a great phrase, but I've kind of forgot it. But it was something like networking your way through a transition. The best way, and I'm not coming from somebody who's already done this and I'm already up on the mountain and I'm talking to you as, talking down to you or talking to you like, you got to do this. I'm not really a salesman like that. I'm talking to you about mistakes and things that I've made and things that I'm doing now that I've found have been helpful, at least to me. And a big part of that has been when I don't necessarily know exactly the direction of how to go, the direction that I want to go. I have an idea of where I'm trying to get to, and I obviously know where I am, but I don't necessarily know how to get there. Especially when it's coming to, getting outside of my comfort zone of working with, more startups, more, established small businesses, working with private equity and venture capitalism, because some of that stuff is really, really complicated in terms of, knowing how to, structure equity agreements and shares and stocks and common versus preferred. And, in terms of protecting my clients, it's really important to me, to know those kind of things and also be able to have really genuine conversations. And a lot of that has been networking and talking to people that are doing it and meeting with, people that are in the venture capitalist firm, realm, and then the same with private equity, and then who are into, investing in startups, especially, locally here in Pittsburgh. It's been really beneficial to, meet face to face with people and be able to connect with names. And it's honestly, especially if you're working locally, you'll probably see that whatever niche that you're in, it's probably kind of a small community of people. You usually run into the same people, they know the same people. So, if you do name drop and say, hey, such and such, said that I should try to network with you, or, I should try to interact with you. Most people are pretty amiable, at least to give you a phone call. And so, that's what I do most of the time. If not, meet for coffee or something like that. I had a great conversation with another attorney when I was asking him about his office space, because I'm still choosing, exactly where I'm going to be. I'm pretty much located downtown Pittsburgh now, but at that time I was still deciding. And he was saying that his office is every Starbucks, and I just thought it was funny, but it was also very true. So it's one, about getting outside of your comfort zone, knowing where it is that you want to go, and then two, finding people that are doing what it is that you want to do and trying to network with them and help them and let them lead you. I have an attorney who I greatly admire here in Pittsburgh. Again, I don't want to name drop, but he's someone that whenever I see him, he's basically doing what it is that I'm trying to do, and he's basically living the life that I'm looking to live. So I kind of just use him, almost vicariously. Whenever I talk to him, I'm always asking him questions. I'm always kind of picking his brain. He's very, very nice and very amiable. So I think it's really important to not only know where it is that you want to go, but also be able to start networking and start working on that transition through a network of people that are doing what it is that you want to do, and then letting them lead you on the way.